So I'm going to sweep, do a little nothing to something. However, it is going to be from the scalp to the ends, because the whole idea behind doing a petite is that they get the color all the way up to the scalp. Okay, so tiny, tiny, tiny little check mark, boop, boop. Literally that small. Okay, same thing. You could do a little bit bigger if you wanted to. This, because the section itself is so tiny, it's going to saturate through and through, but you want it to.
So you do the whole thing and not just the one side?
Yeah. Yeah, it'll saturate through by itself because it's such a tiny, tiny section. Now remember you, go ahead.
So start with the sweeping motion, though. You wouldn't just try to saturate.
Sweep it on.
Yeah.
Yep. If you try to saturate, you might get a blob of color right there, and then you'll get a little spot. Remember, you've already done your single, double, or triple. It'll be done right here. So what's recommended is you take your piece of cotton and the section of hair and lay it back so it doesn't, the idea is that it doesn't fall on her face, and it really shouldn't. It'll stay. Okay? Something else to remember when you're working along the hairline and you're doing these petites. So I'm going to take my next section down. Do my triple, single, double, whatever. But see how this petite is here? My next petite, I might do back, a little further back, as opposed to doing all the petites right on the hairline. That's what's going to happen then is when she pulls her hair back, you'll see a stripe, a stripe, a stripe. So it's almost like you want to zigzag your petites, like one here, one right behind the hairline, one here, one right behind, back and forth, back and forth. So it's more of a natural looking hairline as opposed to just stripe, 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 stripe. Makes sense? So on this one I would do, here's my single, here's a single, and then right behind the hairline but not on it. I have to stand in front, sorry. Here's where my little petite would be. So if you see I'm kind of right behind the hairline. Okay? Any
So
questions? Oh, careful.
Oh, I'm gonna die.
Please
If
don't.
you did the petite like on the bottom of the hairline, would you take a smaller section to do above the hairline, above the ear, so if they do wear it in a ponytail, and then
Yes.
do petites right there?
Mhm.
Okay.
What I even recommend too is if you do have that guest that likes it all on the hairline, is section your hairline out first. Like just go through and just take out a section of the hairline and do your petites.
Before you do the back or
Mhm.
anything?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It'll make life a lot easier for you.
Okay.
Okay? Any questions on that?
And in that section, the first one over the ear, you wouldn't do them like right next to each other. You would do like
Break
one
like-
up against the hairline and then one a little back.
Oh yeah, zigzag.
So
zig.
it would go like that.
Gives more of a natural look. Okay. Again, remembering when you get to the very tip top, that's going to be you and your client's call. So if it's a true balayage, I would leave this completely out, let it fall on top. But if she wanted that highlighted look, then I would do a double, triple up there. Okay. If she has a fringe, this is the fun part. Now I love this technique, and I even do it a lot just whenever. I'm going to give her a little side part. And this can be done on long hair, short hair. You know, if she already has a little fringe cut, it just gives a little bit of interest right here. It's almost like doing that kind of chunky, but it not looking chunky. Make sense? So what you're going to do is you're going to take a section of hair out, and if she already has a fringe, just go with that. But if she doesn't, you would create that little section. Again, it doesn't have to be, I might do a little bit thinner than that. It doesn't have to be super neat and clean and pretty and all that good jazz. So it might be a little scary to watch and to do it, but it actually comes out quite nice. This is kind of thick, so I'm going to take this in half and do it in two separate sections. And because her hair's parting in the middle, it's going to be, she's not going to want to work nicely with me. Which? All right, so here we go. So here's my first little section. Still going to do the balayage thing. I'm going to have her tilt her head just a little bit. It's a pretty big section, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Still going to sweep. Watch. Sweep, sweep. Oh, I know. Oh, my God, it's scary. Sweep, sweep, sweep. Sweet.
Okay.
Bring it all the way down. Here's where the real fun begins. I'm gonna take my paddle. We're gonna flip it over.
Oh.
Actually, sweet. But you see, I'm not getting it all the way at the scalp because remember, it's gonna swell as it processes, and it'll make its way down there. But it's not like a big chunk of color right there. So I'm still just gonna balayage. Might even stand behind her now. Need a little more product. Don't be afraid to saturate. Her head's kind of high. That's all right. We'll work with that. Take my piece of cotton. Might need another piece just because it's kind of wide. You can even put a foil down right here because it is a little bit of a wider section.